Tonight, we are just outside Philadelphia, home of Independence Hall. In Villanova, we welcome you to FS1 College Hoops Tip-Off, sponsored by the Lincoln Motor Company. In the Big East, it's number 2 Villanova nationally against the Georgetown Hoyas. What history these two have together, and we welcome you to the pavilion. As you look at the standings, Villanova still the creme de la creme of this conference, and Georgetown playing well of late, though coming off a loss. And we welcome you inside along with the governor, Bill Raftery. Always a privilege to be with him, Tim Brando. Listen, Georgetown had a mishap on I-95 just south of Baltimore. More on that accident coming up a little later and its possible impact on the game. But as it relates to the history and the currency of college basketball tonight, this is an opportunity for Georgetown.
It sure is. They present some unique problems, I think, for Villanova. Size is one, individual ability to break you down. So it's important, also the press, but it's important for Villanova to play great team defense. You've got to help.
Let's take a look now at the Jeep Grand Cherokee starting lineups for tonight's game. Jonathan Molmar, the youngster from New Orleans, along with L.J. Peak, Pryor, Derrickson, and Govan for the Hoyas, Brunson, Hart, Bridges, Jenkins, and Darrell Reynolds for Villanova. Our officiating crew tonight, a veteran one, Michael Roberts, Brian O'Connell, and Tony Chiazza.
A little enthusiasm with that last name.
It'll be Reynolds and Govan set to get it underway. The history between these two long-standing Big East Charter members, the 85 title game that everyone remembers. Here's Josh Hart right out of the gates, and the Player of the Year candidate knocks it home.
Jimmy B, both clubs go. Wait a minute. How about Hart? He has really improved his shooting. Dribble drive, they dribble at you, you back cut, dribble exchange, ball screen, slip. Double dribble, yeah.
Chris Jenkins with a nice job defensively. John Thompson is hobbling tonight in that accident that we'll tell you about a bit later. He did suffer an injury to his left knee. Will have a trip for an MRI once he gets back to the D.C. area tomorrow.
And to me, he was really shaken, too.
Yeah,
he had an opportunity. Such a solid human being. Is concerned for the people in the accident. Everybody on their team is basically sound. A little nick here and there, correct?
Right. Trey Campbell can't go tonight. He's not dressed. He had an injury to his right knee. But other than that, you're right, Bill. Everyone's good to go. But you're right. Visibly shaken. No question, JT3, when we met with him earlier today.
And reality strikes, huh?
Couple of turnovers, fouls, one hoop, and that was by Hart. And that pass leads to a turnover. Molmar comes out of there with it.
And you got to dive quicker, too. Nice kick.
Pryor comes up with the deflection, and the soft southpaw puts it through.
Yeah, he's dangerous. We both know that. And get him going, he can really light it up quickly.
Two straight turnovers for Villanova after that 3-ball from Hart.
This is where they're toughest. Get a foot in the lane. Got to stay at home on the wings for that kick 3.
Shot clock under 10.
Got an open look.
Good defense here from Georgetown. And we have a shot clock violation. There you see Jay Wright looking for win number 499 tonight. What a remarkable run he has had. A chance to repeat as national champions. We haven't seen that since Coach K's team, 91-92.
Nice look, really attacking that three-quarter court pressure again. Pryor with the look.
Up there, we got a foul underneath, spotted by Michael Roberts.
You got Govan with it?
I think so. No, it actually, yes, it was on Jesse. It was on Govan.
How about the audacity of the Villanova people to have a dress like Jay night? I mean, that's... I mean, people can't afford those wardrobes.
Here we come with our blue blazers.
Exactly.
Right.
Hand delivered.
Brunson from downtown. Hart gets the offensive rebound. Jenkins from guess where?
Downtown.
The usual spot. Absolutely. Pryor did not see There's Eric Pascal making that move, and you mentioned the fans that are dressed like Jay.
Yeah, maybe one or two
there are a couple of them.
A real concern with help side defense for Villanova, particularly Pete and Pryor as well. He can shoot it.
Yes, he can. Erickson, not this time, and I think Chris Jenkins may have been tagged with a push-off. Yep, that's his first. Little push-off there by Big Smooth. Back in the starting lineup tonight.
Yeah, good defensive position, too.
He had a couple of poor outings, played well against St. John's. Re-enters the starting fray tonight.
Yeah, Bridges out on peak. He can play, I think, all 5 positions defensively. Great length, great denial. Nice double rotate.
Govan quickly rotates the ball. And it does not fall for Pryor, and Hart comes out of there with it with authority.
How about him? He is so impressive. Particularly coming down the stretch, the biggest rebound. He usually gets them. Good solid defense by Georgetown right now. Staying at home, taking away dribble drive.
Is it obvious what they worked on, both of these teams coming in? Defense.
They know one another pretty well.
Absolutely. Pascal, transfer, gets into trouble, finds Hart with 1 on the clock. And it's off the front iron. Govan clears.
Georgetown's really been at home, solid on the D.
Omar with a straight line drive, and he's fouled.
Well, he can really get to the goal, can he? Attacks, got a little juice. Late in the shot clock, is one of those kids that can go to the rim. You can see he is manhandled.
Josh Hart got the foul in his first. Well, we've seen 8 3 balls thrown up already, and only 1 hit, that by Josh Hart right after the opening tip, with Mulmar at the free throw line.
Yeah, you watch this game early, there's not much separation in the country, really.
No.
I mean, there are some teams, obviously, that are not as equipped as others, but you're talking about 20, 25 teams that on a given night, if you're not ready to play, they can put you away.
And probably of those 25, a dozen or more that could win it all, you think?
Maybe.
Somewhere in there?
I don't know if you can go that deep, but you better come prepared. I think the tournament's going to be wild this year for that reason. It was 3-quarter, and Villanova worked and was concerned about challenging this D.
Jenkins feeds, and that 3 ball does not fall for Pascal, and it's pulled down by Pryor. 4 minutes gone by here at the Pavilion.
Pryor and Pete really complimented. Nice little entry.
Govan with a runner.
Nice little look here by Pete.
His skill set for his size is dynamic.
Pretty impressive. And you know, the more you watch them, when they just play one big, they look a little more efficient, don't they?
Absolutely. Now you see DiVincenzo moving to the 1 spot, which frees Brunson to move around a bit. Picked up by Mulmar here with 10 on the clock.
Nice cut.
Oh, how about that? How about that, Bill?
Just they do that so well. Brunson really finds people, but his understanding of locking a pivot foot, being prepared and patient, and a great dive.
DiVincenzo is one of those guys that really gives them. Oh, Pryor with a hammer dunk.
That's the compliment I was alluding to. We didn't get it in. You know, he and Pete, they run that offense, that set Georgetown, Princeton type philosophy, and that they can beat you with the bounce.
That reminded me of the one he had against UConn in a key win that they had at a time in the season when they were struggling.
1 on 3.
Hello. Beat. Right to the rack he goes, and a foul spotted underneath. Well, they're dropping dimes early, Governor.
How about the feel for the game? Patience, a little look away. DiVincenzo. I know you love saying that name, but how about this? Send it in. A Pryor move. Impressive.
Big East basketball doubleheader on FS1. First at 6:30 Eastern, DePaul travels to Cincinnati to take on number 24 Xavier. Then Providence will clash with Seton Hall. A Big East basketball double-dip tomorrow on FS1. Our score here early on at the Pavilion. 8-5 Georgetown. You see JT3 Here's what happened, or a shot of what happened off of I-95. The car actually merged into a lane. They had the accident. It toppled over into the embankment several times. You see Coach Thompson watching the players helping. We're happy to report that the drivers of the other car, Kimberly Strasner and her son Thomas, 17 years of age, were okay after going to the hospital for a short period of time. Trey Campbell has to be in street clothes tonight because he's unable to go with a right knee injury, and John is struggling with a left knee injury that really has him hobbling. And my guess is it could be relatively serious when they get back and take a look at him.
But what a harrowing experience. And he was fortunately in the second row. Every coach sits in the first row. I don't know why. It's just a matter of policy. But when he was at Princeton, up at Holy Cross, they had an accident, and he was in the front seat coming down a hill. So fortunately, he was in a spot where he didn't go forward, head over heels.
Yeah, those of us who have been to Holy Cross know about that huge steep hill and the two columns that are there, and the bus was headed for those, and that's why he moved back, as you said. Here's Brunson going reversal, gets it to go. The first thing out of John's mouth, though, was today, he said, please let the family know, the Strasner family know, and he didn't even know who they were at the time, that we are concerned about their health and well-being. Georgetown by 2. Govan, nice look. You see the strong move by Caleb Johnson, and he's fouled.
The ability to put it on the deck, and this kid is so sound. He's a little quicker than you think. He controls his speed, extremely deceptive. Gets a lot of blow-bys. And that bulky look turns you off a little bit. You don't understand that he can step it up a little.
Mikal Bridges picked up that foul, his first. And Caleb Johnson, you see 32 in after the timeout. Looks for a little help.
Now Govan's not. I don't see why they don't go to Govan. And look at DiVincenzo in front of him. He didn't fight him off. Got to beg hard.
Hard, strong spin move.
You know it's coming. Or he puts you in that little mix. The whirlpool. The heart.
Well, the teams have combined for 6 of 6 inside the arc. 1 of 10 from outside it here in the early going. Another scrum, the loose ball taken away. Bridges fighting for it. It's still loose.
How about this?
And finally, we get the tie ball with the arrow going the other way.
Really, Villanova does this terrific. Generally step in front. I think Govan should have stepped to the ball a little bit more. DiVincenzo got that left side. But how about this drop step and spin? My goodness. Most of us would be out for the week with a dizzy spell.
All right, the ball does stay down here, but only 3 seconds to shoot. So Pryor's got to put it up.
How about that range?
Oh, and bang.
I'll tell you, he thinks offense, this kid. He attacks, he cuts, makes threes. Not afraid, unabashed when it comes to shooting.
Brunson had the baseline cut off.
Nice look.
Outstanding passing, senior to senior there. Jenkins to Reynolds.
It's to throw the other senior in. It started with the kick out by Hart. Didn't do anything silly. Great find.
These three, the record that Villanova's had is impeccable since they set foot on this campus. 119 and 14 in the time that they have been here. Nice work on the glass by Pryor, but he can't get it to go. Retrieves it again, another recycle.
Nice ball reversal, steps.
Yeah, a little too quick that time for LJP.
Well, when you got a guy with this kind of range, and he is one of those guys, he could miss 5 in a row, he's going to drill it, but the extra pass, and look at this find with some heat. Jenkins just not a pretty face. He's become an excellent passer, by the way, Timmy.
I talked to him before the game, Bill, and I asked him about comparing this year's team at this time of the season versus last. And he said, you know, really, we're about where we were last year, this year at this time. He feels like there's still a long way for this club to go as they continue to grow and play better together.
Jay thinks they've got to become tougher-minded when they get a lead.
Yeah.
They seem to let St. John's game is a good example. They give credit to the opponent, too. With that killer instinct you're searching for. Nice Phil. Nice pump. Lead the country in pumps.
Bridges. He even gave an extra one at the key.
The well is not dry with this team. Nice. They're excellent facing the ball with the D.
And another deflection into a turnover.
They are tough in the early, slapping back, finding people.
Jenkins and one.
He's got some pro ability with his offense, doesn't he? Now you call him Big Smooth. When he is in the groove, a pump, a deliver, and nylon from Villanova, PA.
College Hoops on FS1 is sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. Our score here at Villanova, the Wildcats leading it by 3 over Georgetown. Well, with the assumption that Butler, Xavier, Creighton, and Villanova are likely to make the tournament field, here are the other hopefuls. And conventional wisdom is that possibly 2 of these 4 could get there. What do you think?
They're going to make some hay, though.
Yeah.
A game like this for Georgetown would be monumental. But we saw Marquette get Villanova. That certainly helped them. It's all, in a sense, the tournament is going to be one. You win one, maybe get 2. Obviously, it's
every game is a referendum.
Yeah, it's easier
for those teams, don't you think?
No question about it.
And I don't know, it's different now than it used to be, clearly, because we talk about it so often. And Stuart Mandel is doing his job for us. And right now, 2 of those teams would be within it. 2 of them would be just on the outside looking in.
Well, JT, the old days, as you say, they get hot late. That's important. That's not the same now. They don't think that way.
No, you're right.
He had that 3-0. Seton Hall, got one on the road, which was big for them. They got to get it going coming down the stretch. All of those teams.
Yep. After the foul by Okoye Gal and the and one, old-fashioned 3-point play for Jenkins, and it's a 7-0 run for Villanova. Peak with a find to a Gal. Very athletic, has been playing at a high level of late for Georgetown, number 22.
And Mosley on the floor, too. Pretty good attacking, getting in the lane.
Bradley Hayes is also in as Derrickson tries to get one to go from the elbow. Hart. Ooh, the iron kind to Joshua.
How about that? They give it up early. You can prepare, be in your shooting mode, and knock it down.
They've made 6 straight shots now after starting 2 of 8.
He's inside. Give him a couple of touches on the box. He's got a little bit of a game down there.
Working now on Reynolds. Needs some help with the dump down. Nice. Good high low to Derrickson.
Nice button hook to set it up. Pretty play. Hayes with a nice entry.
Don't want to allow Villanova to get one on those major runs. Those 13-love runs. That's when they can blow you right out of the building.
Yeah, stay in touch. Little zone look now. Let's see what they got. Now, straight up man still, Timmy. No. Matchup. Scratch.
Yeah. I'll give you a little time.
Nice ball. Everybody bites. He does it so well.
Hart finds a crease and induced the foul.
Mosley, I think.
Yeah, Jagan Mosley, the freshman, got it.
Once they start pointing, the cuts go through. But I just love this entry here. A little button hook as we get him in here. And then the ability to make that dribble at you, back cut, load up. And Hayes, 7 foot tall, delivers for the money.
Derrickson actually got tagged with that foul, and Hart at the line. Mosley sits down, and Jonathan Molmar comes in. So you've got 3 things that you need to know on Josh Hart. And obviously, an Eagle Scout is always going to deliver the goods.
And he has been the best he can be, huh?
Oh.
How aptly named is this kid? He leaves it out there.
Yeah. And I'm not surprised he was an Eagle Scout at all.
I got thrown out of the Cub Scouts, by the way. They're not paying attention. That was the limit of my scouting career.
Everyone knew you wanted to be in the entertainment business, Bill. There's the dump down to Derrickson. Not there. The beautiful tap out there by Okoye Gal. Great presence of mind by number 22.
I like going inside, though.
How about that? He started it, tries to finish it, and will get to the free throw line as a result.
That was showing some good things, but Josh Hart, one of those guys that's worked diligently on his ability to shoot it, but how about the body control, the drop step? Once again, kicking it out, making some knockdown jumpers. What a compliment to his unselfish play and his dedication and hard work.
Okoye Gal transferred from Louisville. His home, Omaha, Nebraska. Think of Louisville had two very large players that were not available to play last night, so this is one that got away that Rick could have used. Virginia beating Louisville.
They have trouble with Virginia, though.
Yeah,
the last couple of years, just the style of play.
Rick would point out that they had to play Kentucky right before the game with Virginia. Worst possible team to play after Kentucky would be them. Only one of two for a Gal.
And he is a competitor, that kid. I like what he does. He's played well the last few games I've watched. Once again, a little 2-3 match.
Hard to pull up. Beautiful teardrop.
Showing you the load, the whole resume.
Well, they've now scored, Bill, on their last 8 trips, Villanova.
Now, let's see if they concentrate. This is where they've had some lapses. Get a little bit of a lead. And let somebody off the hook. Nice little shade by Bridges.
Peak always looking for that straight line drive to the rack. Has to pull up this time. Knocked away last touch by a Gal.
This might be one of the best gang rebounding team. Look at the size out there. You and I might be same level. And he just gets so much mileage out of these guys, Jay. This is where he's improved too, Bridges' ability to actually bounce it and finish and also shoot the ball. He's worked hard at it.
Out of a 1-4 set this time, they go with the high pick. Brunson stop and go.
There's the extra look.
Oh. The ball rotation. That time off the heel. And the end of that 8-for-8 run of 2-point shots for Villanova.
They're not giving up any fast break, though. Even though it was 1-on-3, they may have gotten one earlier.
Pryor. He gets hot. He can really get streaky and take over a game. But of late, those shots haven't fallen.
How about the athleticism of DiVincenzo? I mean, that tip, the best part about that tip against Virginia, he was on the far side and came over, and when the shot went up, attack.
Hard, beautiful dish. And Pascal knew what to do with it.
Remember our pal, Clark?
Yeah.
What did he say?
Stat sheet stuffer.
Yeah, that's what that kid is,
No question. Lead is up to 10.
Need a good one there. Need a real good one. Maybe a dribble drive.
Momar.
Tough shot.
Hart. Well, that was a tough pass. Pryor sticks his nose in and knocks it away.
We talk about the things he does, whether it's a big rebound or not, but how about this little bounce pass? The strong finish. Pascal, say thank you, please. Special delivery. Big time impact.
Fox Sports Supports is proud to team up with Positive Coaching Alliance and its mission to develop better athletes, better people, by working to provide all youth and high school athletes a positive character-building sports experience. Visit foxsportssupports.com to learn more. Our score here at Villanova, 25-15. The Cats upping their lead to double digits. 2017 Big East Tournament begins on March 8th with the crowning of a champion on Saturday, March 11th. This will mark the 35th year of the Big East Tournament in Madison Square Garden, the mecca of college basketball. And, of course, you can see it exclusively on FS1 with the championship on Fox. And Val Ackerman, the commissioner of the Big East, is on hand.
Traveling all over it.
Yeah, among other things, she was giving an academic award to Villanova for the job that their student athletes are getting done in all sports within the Big East Conference.
Well, they got it going here, no question about it. Their program.
That guy, his engaging the past to the present, Bill, I think is a blueprint that everyone in intercollegiate athletics should follow.
being a great student yourself, speak from experience. I'm sure there's a few classes you ducked. Stat, maybe?
Yeah, that's why you always carry a statistician alongside. Yep.
I'm looking at Hart's numbers, though. He's so efficient thus far. Making plays, finding people.
DiVincenzo again moves up to the top in this sequence.
They all grab that pivot foot, reverse, and kick. How about that?
Brunson from downtown. 5 in the game for him, and the lead up to a baker's dozen.
See, it's fundamentals, though, Tim. You know, the flair is there with this team, but they're basic. I mean, they understand to establish a pivot foot. Don't do anything silly. Find people. They got steps or
Trap.
a foul.
Induced it.
Just, to me, this is what I'm talking about. The ability to get to the basket and then not throw a bad shot up, reverse, fill, and then kick out. I mean, that's just really efficient. Everybody turns heads, looks to overhelp, and they bite you.
By the way, Jesse Govan, who committed that foul after being trapped, now has 2. He remains in the game, and DiVincenzo blows right by him. Wave it off. I think we did have a foul. And that's his 3rd.
Well, he has really developed some skills. Even though Brunson is out there, he's at the point.
That was a tough break for John Thompson because he got his 2nd when trapped. Couldn't get him out in time before he picked up his 3rd on the other end of the floor. So the big fella has to sit down.
No, that certainly hurts their cause, too. So good on that offensive end. Reynolds has got a little hook game, too, so I'm working on it today.
Brunson again. And Bradley Hayes, who's going to have to play a lot of minutes now, gets the rebound.
Nice hold up by Hayes, but they don't get it to him.
Pryor needs help.
Look at DiVincenzo on Hayes now. Look at how they fight. I mean, that's what they do best.
Pryor just inside the arc, not there. Tapped out, but retrieved by Momar.
And DiVincenzo did the right thing. It would have been a layup for Hayes if he hadn't done that.
Nice pass. That was a good find by Caleb Johnson, and Hayes with the flush.
And take advantage. They give you the opportunity. A little sloppy here. Coming to the ball.
LJ Peak got him on the arm. His first foul.
The ability to three-quarter and front. Look at the weak side help as well. And then Hayes just keeps active. And now he's in position at the offensive rebound. He reverses it. And the ability to find and complete. Go to that a little bit more now.
Bradley is another one of those projects turned prospects that Georgetown traditionally has always had among the bigs, going back to Big John Thompson's era. Got him out of Jacksonville, Florida. Not highly recruited from Sandalwood High School. He's always had him, it seems.
Absolutely. The list goes on and on. There's Big John, one of the great ones for this league. How about this kid?
Josh Hart.
The lingering Bill Bradley follow-through for emphasis. He's going to have one of those. This is one of those nights. This could be a triple-double night. He's got a long way to go with assists.
Yeah, he's got 14 points already. 14 of Villanova's 30. Reggie Cameron, number 5, senior from Georgetown, is in the game.
Keep plugging if you're Georgetown now. See if you can get Hayes down on that box again.
You got it. Right past the double team, too.
And take advantage. The bulk, the physical presence of the big guy.
With Govan out, they really need him to play well.
They do. And that's one of the obstacles occasionally the Villanova faces, that overpowering up front guy.
No Daniel Ochefu.
Nice hands.
Great hands there by Jonathan Momar. Leads to a tie ball. The arrow remains with Villanova.
Now, this is interesting with this kid, though. There's so many things he does well. This is just elevating as you go up as high as you have to. The defense makes you.
Look at that. 18.9 on the season. He's already got 14 tonight. And that's efficiency. 5 of 7 from the floor.
He shoots 51 for the year and what, 40? Yeah, 40 at 3.
Jenkins working on Johnson.
You know, Jenkins is one of those guys. He may have a night where he doesn't get a lot of shots, but you've got to play him, which opens it up for other people. Nice look.
Ball movement, rotation, all there, and then Bridges knocks it home.
Case in point, they hug the big guy outside. Jenkins, he gets it to the box. You overhelp. Sniff and find.
10 assists on 13 field goals, Bill, for Villanova right now.
Nice cut.
And then the double walk by Pryor.
Don't give up on it. That's the key. And the big guy out here, you're going to load up on the box right in here. And just look, nobody at home here. You got 2 playing 1. Is that enough circles for you, Tim? I'm a little confused myself. But the matter of fact is the ability to knock the shot down, but good execution as well.
See the turnover story and the points off. Villanova generally wins in that category. DiVincenzo trying to run a backdoor cut was cut off by Pryor, and Jenkins muscles one in.
Now that's what he does. He sort of makes up a little post up 10 feet away and bounces to his delight.
You know, this has been sort of a slow burn for Villanova. They got it to 7, and they continued to be efficient and take two-point shots as opposed to 3. Moved it up to a 10-point spread, and now have upped it to what was 16 before that bucket by Pryor.
Now it's interesting. You've got the low post guy. Now Pryor made the shot. I'll give him that. But if he throws it inside, he might still get the shot. Tough little jack contested.
Josh Hart is just on fire.
And you know what hurts the most? He's from the D.C. area.
Indeed.
You know?
I got a pair of them from that area. Cameron, who came to Georgetown known for his shooting. Hayes with the putback.
They were trying to get a timeout.
Yeah, they were.
I think they were trying to get Hayes out, maybe give him a blow.
Just over 2.5 remaining in the first half. Tim Brando, Bill Rafter here at Villanova. The number 2 Cats having their way early on. Hart, not this time.
First really tough shot he took. Nice hands. Look at Bridges from the rear.
You had better feel that kind of pressure coming from the backside when playing against Villanova. LJ Peak using that speed, taking it to the rack. Hayes with another putback, but it doesn't fall this time. And the loose ball wrestled away by Chris Jenkins.
Taking a little blow here, huh? I don't mean you, which would be unusual.
You thought it was Josh Hart that was taking one, right? You okay over there?
I thought you were on the Villanova team. I thought maybe you
DiVincenzo! Hello! How do you do?
The weak side, and nobody stuck him.
Oh, comparisons, Bill, have already been made about DiVincenzo at this stage of his career and Josh Hart when he was a freshman. It's already out there. Kid's got a great future. And a 3-ball answer coming from Jonathan Molmar, the New Orleanian. And it's 40-26.
Now get a stop if you're Georgetown. Get yourself back in and get in touch to 10 somehow.
Think about the loss of Phil Booth this year, and it's likely that it looks like he's not going to play. The DiVincenzo get was huge for Villanova.
And actually, it's really helped him become a better player.
Jenkins. Puts it into Pascal. Nice find to Jenkins again. How about that?
No room either. They were right up. Coach, I'm right there.
I mean, when they get hot like that and play at that level, I mean, it's very difficult. I don't care who you are.
Ooh, well, when you got Hart, it probably stems from him. The motor of this kid is just exceptional. Little great read, fade to the corner, and then DiVincenzo, get a body on him from Wilmington, bringing it all right up the turnpike. And the big smooth, not much room. What a stroke, like honey or fine wine. I wouldn't know much about it.
At the anchor desk, you look at our AP top 10. Gonzaga is there. Villanova in the 2-hole right now. Now, Bill, I want to get your thoughts. Gonzaga plays St. Mary's, I think, on Saturday. That's got to be their toughest game left on the schedule.
I believe
right?
it's away, too.
Yes.
This is big, you know,
so with that in mind, I know that probably Gonzaga, in your estimation, deserves a number 1, but are they worthy of a 1 seed?
They are very good. You got 2 experienced backcourt guys.
Yeah.
2 guys, and of course Matthews up front. You got the big fella. They have a couple of kids that will really shock you when you get. I've been watching them lately.
Yeah.
You know, few understated, very humble.
Yeah.
Something that's escaped both of us, but they just every year, and maybe this is the year for them. Full court pressure, try and speed them up a little.
That classic conversation as you see Momar
Look at the close
pass, and you see Reynolds take it away.
They don't give up on that press.
And a quick timeout taken by Jay Wright. Well, they softened them up with the twos and now have been burying the threes. Villanova up big.
Maestros lead with confidence, exactness, inspiration. At GMC, we're in tune with that degree of precision. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the GMC Acadia. The next generation SUV has arrived. Current lessees switch to GMC and get this low-mileage lease on this 2017 Acadia SLE1 for around $279 per month with $529 due at signing.
Welcome back to Big East College Hoops on FS1, sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. Our score here in the first half, 43-26. Villanova, the number 2 team in the country, and the big three for number 2 have been on point.
How about 119 wins thus far in your career? That's
unreal.
That's like my one-loss record after 20 years. Just amazing. 3-time Big East champs. Of course, the NCAA championship is extraordinary what they've been able to do.
They've made, Bill, 15 of their last 19 overall, and if you recall, they started their run by going inside the arc. They had 7 straight 2-point field goals. It's almost as if they softened Georgetown up and then went beyond the arc and really took command of the game there.
Well, they're so intelligent in their approach. They'll do what you give them.
Holding it for one here. Brunson with a 1-4 set.
Or maybe a little late run out, pick and pop. And the ability to turn the corner. You better stay at home on the wings.
High pick from Pascal. Ooh, DiVincenzo lost it. The pass was behind him. Peak on the other end.
Goaltending, I think, yeah.
They're going to grant the goal? I think they are. So they will count the basket.
Now you got to be alert now if you're Georgetown. You want to give them a good look. Everybody in position.
Pinned it up against the backboard. That's the call. So the bucket does count.
Pretty good effort. You notice Brunson? I mean, you forget how athletic this kid is. He was up there.
Absolutely.
I've seen him dunk.
Hart.
No good. No good.
It won't count, and it's 43-28. Our score as we come to the end of the half. Nova shooting 63% from the floor. We'll send you to Kevin Burkhardt, Steve Lavin, and Casey Jacobson in Los Angeles for the Jeep Grand Cherokee halftime report on the other side of this. We welcome you back. FS1 College Hoops with some drums of thunder at halftime. And by the way, talk about marching to the beat of your own drum. This Villanova Wildcat offense has done that in the first half. They have been so efficient. Tim Brando alongside the Governor, Bill Raftery, and Josh Hart has got to be the lead drummer boy.
Absolutely.
Right?
The conductor that you are.
Yeah.
You notice that. Amazing what this kid can do. I mean, his jump shot is something that he's worked diligently on. The suggestion by the NBA people. But look at the footwork as well. And they also understand when to find him. He's got plenty of time to step into that shot. Gets a little bit of a roll. But uses screens well. The extra pass. Pretty solid by Hart.
Well, as you look at our first half stats, sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee, the thing that just jumps out at you is how few turnovers are committed, and yet Nova still takes advantage.
Right, absolutely. Good, solid basketball. The other thing that impressed me tonight, any opportunities for a fast break were met with 3 and 4 people back.
Yeah.
They really balanced the floor well. See if the Hoyas can get a good start here. Now, watching JT3, he is in pain over there, too. It's tough.
Well, by the way, Villanova turned it over, you might recall, Bill, a couple of times to open the first minute of the game, and then they went 19 minutes without a turnover until the very last 30 seconds. L.J. Peak, on the opening sequence of the second half, runs the curl and takes it inside and is fouled.
I think you pick maybe Reynolds or Bridges. I think it might be Reynolds.
Bridges got it, his second.
That's what I said. I thought it was Bridges. Well, they were both there. That's the good help defense that Villanova provides. Does this remind you of Arch in the backcourt with Jay talking
a little bit?
Brunson? I mean,
yeah,
it's like
a little bit.
That's the connection. And coaches that don't have a pure point guard, it's a tough deal. They're always suggesting and combo guards sometimes don't get the same feeling or understanding of how to run a team.
Well, you think of that little shiner under the left eye of Brunson. He got that in the Providence game that we had on a Sunday on Fox, again, game that Villanova won, and it only got darker a day later. You really didn't notice it after it happened.
He's a tough kid. He's a gamer. No, but that's the thing with this team. A nice job. Not a shot, though. It's got to be on the pass, yeah. But that's what makes this team tough, I think. His understanding of how to run a club, provide a lift with a jumper here and there if needed. Great understanding. Of course, the family ties. I'd like to do that with Rick. Nice back screen. How about that?
To Britton. Well, just magnificent
execution.
Magnificent pass. Two seniors that know a great deal about where the other are. And that was, of course, Bridges is a young man that you think of as a senior, the way he plays. These guys play beyond their years, even the ones that aren't seniors. Reynolds, obviously Hart, and Jenkins. Peak off the bounce. Tapped out by a Goy, but it's taken away by Jenkins.
See how they widen the floor on you, too? You really get back, and then you got to peel off and get the shooters.
Here's Bridges again.
He can drive it.
Well, you notice coming out of the half on the inline that time, Bridges turned it over.
Just to realize everybody coordinated here, and you spin out, just pretty basketball. And you got to be ready for everything. You mentioned the pass, which is perfect.
Yeah.
Right at that 10.
And, sometimes a screen can be a little chip, and that's exactly what Hart delivered to enable him to get to the basket. By the way, as we open this half, Govan, who picked up that third foul early, still on the bench. And Okoye Gow does get the call to start this half for John Thompson III.
Probably trying to save him, too, for a couple of minutes at least.
And that's a block on Pryor.
Close out, he can shoot it. He owns you at that point. A little head and shoulder fake.
Just the first on Rodney Pryor.
I'd like to see Georgetown go inside. We noticed that Peak settle deep. I think we could do more damage off the bounce or to the cow a little bit.
Such an intelligent defensive basketball team, Villanova. You can't get those backdoor cuts against them like you would against other opponents. Jenkins backs in with a post-up.
3 seconds. Yeah. You don't get that call too often, do you?
No, you don't. By the way, you see 6 teams in the top 70 of the RPI from the Big East. Notably, what Seton Hall was able to accomplish with that road win at Georgetown. They needed that game, a significant road victory for Kevin Willard's club. And Xavier stole one at Creighton. Many of you may have seen over the weekend. And Villanova will play Xavier on Saturday on Fox.
I thought there was a foul there.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, they got a break. Look at this kid.
There's Hart. Not this time.
Nice rebound. Reynolds.
Reynolds, so athletic.
The ability to get into that little crack, so solid, and a little contact forces you to miss it. That's why I thought he should have got the 2.
That was a tie ball underneath, so the arrow was with Villanova. They retained possession.
Got to get it in.
Hart from the wing.
Most dangerous guy, the inbounder.
Well, the floor balance for Villanova is so good on the defensive end. Pryor gets that nylon song to ring.
And this is big now. This is that mental situation for Villanova. He played great. Now you're letting this team get a little feel, a little confidence. See how they respond.
Well, not only in the game with Marquette that you and I had when Marquette knocked them out. Also in that Providence game, they let a lead get away.
They get a good shot now for Georgetown.
Pryor on the wing. Pete tried to keep it alive. He was the last to touch it. It'll go back to the Wildcats. DiVincenzo and Chris Jenkins looking to come into the game. Reynolds will sit down, as will Brunson.
You know, sometimes it's not bad to pass up shots. You know what I mean? It's one of those deals. I like to see him use a little time there. Maybe you can always get that look. He is a talented kid, Pryor.
I passed up a sentence in the first half.
Well, that's a first.
I don't speak many complete sentences during these games anyway.
You must be under the weather. Nice slip. Nice post up too.
Bridges. Well, a lot of contact under there. Momar knocked down, and Pryor gets into the passing lane, takes it away. Little teardrop off the heel, and it's pulled down by Bridges. Yep. Momar did not want to see a dunk, so he commits the foul.
A good foul too. When you think of it, they had numbers.
He'll give himself up for that. He knows.
No Govan now. This is getting to the point that I thought he might come in. Did you?
Yeah, I did too.
Hopefully he's okay. You know, that's the thought you have after that accident they went through.
Sitting with 3, as we noted, but you're right. By now, you would think that
maybe it's a timeout. You know,
right.
Maybe a timeout.
Hart.
That's his shot too.
Tipped around, and finally, the human pogo stick is Bridges, and McHale puts it in. 47-33. Caleb Johnson's on the floor. You notice how Georgetown relies on passing the ball. They don't have that prolific point, Bill.
And no inside punch right now. Let's see if they can do something here. Nice double. Nice spin out.
Boy, a gal. That's the athletic ability we talked about with that young man. What a difference he can make.
Well, this kid's got a little bit of a game, you know?
He looks like a former Louisville player.
Yeah, not a little power to the goal.
Indeed. See the field goal shooting here early in the second half. Just having some shots on goal matters for Georgetown.
A lot of bounce in this trip here.
Just getting the ball to the rack has been tough. Villanova will turn you over. Hart. And it's pulled down by Pryor. 5 minutes gone by here in the second half.
Nice.
Yeah, tough pass.
Defensively too, Hart.
How about that? You just can't get away with backdoor cuts against these guys.
No. Open up.
DiVincenzo had it slapped away, and Okoye Gal will pick up the foul.
He was going to bring the house down.
How about that burst on the baseline, huh?
He is quick. He is deceptive. Just the ability to get in that lane and do some damage. And look at all the people at the rim here. 2 on one side, 1 on the other. And Gal, my goodness, away from traffic. That little high side traffic. This is one that would have brought the house down at Wilmington. Some physical play and to give up at the rim.
Big East College Hoops on FS1, and it's sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. Our score here at Villanova, the Wildcats leading it by 12. Our Stuart Mandel as our last 4 teams in, Bill Raftery, and you see among that group. How about the Hall getting in after that win on the road against Georgetown? It took overtime to do it over the weekend.
You saw Miami, what, a week ago?
Yeah, I did. And Florida State throttled them, but Miami's very good too. I know you saw him against North Carolina.
I beat Carolina, but how about this Jimmy Boeheim? He's smiling.
March better for Jimmy B, right?
Up there at the Harvard of Western New York, as Sean McDonough called it.
Those are the 4 teams that are first out, according to Stewart. And listen, if you look at where Syracuse was, drubbed by St. John's by 33 and booed off the floor, to storming the court this past week over Virginia.
4-zip, yeah. He's running the table lately. Wake Forest State, NC State.
And Virginia, a team, if you think about Virginia, they not only lost a big lead to Villanova, but they lost a big lead to Syracuse in the Elite Eight last year to go to the Final Four.
That was shocking. The most shocking thing about the NCAA.
And here are 3 things that you need to know about DiVincenzo.
goodness. Well, he's got good taste, and he's very ethical about it.
How about that? The biggest fear, though. Boy, you know what?
They run the show, that.
Sunday dinner. You know, it's an Italian thing. Sunday dinner is a big deal.
Sure.
Don't want to miss that. Mom needs to be taken care of. 49-35. Villanova by 14.
Nice job with the footwork by Reynolds in there. With Hayes in now, maybe use him a little bit.
Yeah,
give it up and get low.
No Govan. Peak in traffic. He willed that one up to the rim. They're going to call that a bucket inside the cylinder before being knocked away. I'm with you, Bill. I'm beginning to wonder that there's something else ailing Jesse Govan besides foul difficulty.
Right.
Because I guarantee you he's high up on everyone's scouting report.
He can shoot it. I've seen him drive the ball lately from the top. And down at 12 now, so you're thinking stop if you're the Hoyas.
Brunson a pull-up.
He had the mismatch there.
Hayes has played admirably for Govan in length of the floor, and Johnson is cut off.
Nice ball reversal.
Malmore looking for a crease.
That's his game, though. He's going to get a foul, I think.
Yeah. He and Chris Jenkins got tied up. Maybe a little bit of woofing going on between those two as well as they step aside. Begin to wonder if this is another one of those nights when Villanova, on the brink of pulling away, might struggle with getting the distance necessary against this Georgetown team that won't go away on their own.
No question. It's a mindset, too. I mean, taking the foot off the pedal, a lot of coaches like to say.
2 out of 10.
Being more assertive.
Yep. 2 out of 10 from the floor, Bill. 0 for 4 from downtown in this half.
Sometimes you mentally relax. There's an opportunity for Georgetown. Same thing. Automatic switch. And Brunson drags him away.
DiVincenzo on a blow-by. Strong, and he gets contact.
Did you see him break him down?
Yeah, he did.
He did. Beautiful.
Nice job against Jacob Mosley. Took a look at the standings in the Big East. Villanova still ahead of the class. Well, you have a lot of love to wait. Xavier has played without Sumner since his season-ending injury.
Pretty solid play from guard. Gooden has done a nice job for them, running the show. Big-time recruit, they felt. So getting the opportunity and taking advantage of it.
Quentin Gooden has played very well since that injury to Sumner. And, frankly, if you look at Butler, they've had a couple of tough home losses now, and yet, they're sort of a mini version of Villanova in a lot of ways. The way they play on the floor and their chemistry.
Right.
51-37.
No easy outs. No. You got to come prepared every game. Make you use a little clock here, get settled back. There's a little bit of their zone now. They confuse you. You got a flash and turn. Boy, Hayes is in good shape.
Just lost his dribble and his balance that time, Caleb Johnson. And a run out for Brunson.
Look at that cross and find. Extra low. Ooh.
Surprised that he put it on the deck there.
Look at that tip. Does that look familiar? It's the wrong side.
Yeah.
Usually comes from the left, but his activity at the rim.
This after a difficult second half start, and Villanova still up 16.
A tough look from that deep.
Govan is looking to come in on the next dead ball, Bill. Mosley with that runner that rolls off.
He can get in the lane, though, that kid. St. Anthony's kid. We've heard that a few times, huh?
Have we ever?
Bobby Hurley over the years. What a great job he does at that school, too. Providing everybody, not just athletes, an opportunity.
Jenkins. That one goes crying off the front iron, but he gets his own rebound off the deck. Hart is 0 for 5 this half. But DiVincenzo and Brunson have found ways to score. Another ball fake. And opening, there's another foul on Johnson.
But they pass up shots if they're unsure to find a better guy in a better position.
Already in the 1-and-1. DiVincenzo can get a dime and can also run to the rack and knock one home. And against Virginia, it was DiVincenzo at just the nick of time. Tomorrow on FS1, it's a Pac-12 battle as ninth-ranked Arizona clashes with Stanford. That's tomorrow at 11 Eastern, exclusively on FS1. Our score here at Villanova, 53-37. The Wildcats with the lead. A very impressive tournament resume for the defending champions at this stage, Bill.
I'll say, that early season game at Purdue was a classic, and we all knew Purdue was going to be good. Of course, at Creighton, I think that was New Year's Eve. You were probably dancing on Bourbon Street.
And there's the Georgetown resume at this stage. Important to note that win against Oregon that happened after those difficult losses to Maryland and then Arkansas State within a couple of days after the Gavitt tip-off. If they can get to, say, 9 conference wins, Bill, and you look at the strength of schedule, that's what I think they're leaning on in a lot of ways.
They got to win.
Yeah, they got to win these games. They have many opportunities, but you got to win some of them.
You see how he's leaning there? That's to take the pressure off his leg, his left knee.
DiVincenzo.
You make it easier when you win games.
Yeah, no doubt. Govan back in the game. He sat for about 70 minutes of real time, Bill.
Nice cut. Look at this little slip.
Yeah, and right away you see sort of the point forward, make the pass.
And also he's dragging the big guy out, doesn't jam up the lane.
54-39. Points in the paint, a bit of a wash tonight.
Just hanging though.
Yeah.
Just putting a couple of stops together.
Already though in the 1-and-1, they've committed a lot of fouls here in the early going. Georgetown.
Nice fake.
Haskell, that was rejected by Govan.
Held his ground beautifully. Goes right to the rim.
He can play smart and hang in there. Good things might happen for the Hoyas.
Hold on.
DiVincenzo.
Nice and easy. Did the right thing. If he dunked, it would have been blocked.
Govan being defended by Pascal.
There you go.
He disposed of him pretty easily there.
Discard with that arm, too.
56-41.
In a couple of days, Jay's going to have his 500th.
That's right.
You know.
The game with Xavier, provided they win here, would be for 500.
And down in Florida, we only had 14 of the 85 kids, championship kids down there, and Jay called them just to say hello and check in. And, of course, he had his 800th early this year.
Good defense there by the Hoyas. Well done by Derrickson against Jenkins.
Just hanging here.
Pryor.
Big.
Count it.
Right again. Right there, down 12. Love to fight.
Yep. DiVincenzo's had a good night. He's operating at the point now. He had 20-7 against St. John's. 13-5 rebounds now, and he scored Nova's last 9 points.
Look at this, just a little crack. Now, he may have turned it over, but that's all he needs is a little hole. Part, that is.
There's DiVincenzo. Off this time. Well, this is that opportunity now for Georgetown. Just over 10 minutes gone by here in the second half.
Go through Jesse a little bit. He can make passes, can make that deep one.
Peak.
Ready. And with him outside, once again.
Used his quickness on DiVincenzo there.
Wide open at the rim because Govan drags the big. A little explosive dribble drive and peaking maybe at the right time now. Georgetown showing a lot of life. LJ with the ability to knock it down.
Where the Philadelphia 76ers play. And obviously, I believe we were #1 in the country. And the crowd was getting ready to rush the floor. And he came down with 25 seconds to go in a game and said, look, get your team out of here, get out of here. I think they're going to storm the floor. I think we were only down 3 at the time. I said, can we still win this game first? They did go on to win, storm the floor, and we got the hell out of there.
And that's why Patino is a Hall of Famer. But sometimes the congenial Jay Wright can play mind games with his opposing coaches, right?
That's called total preparation.
Great story. As he hones in on his 500, some of his colleagues in the industry paying their tribute to us. Our thanks to Rick for that story.
A long way to go, though. This one certainly does. And trying to be steady and handle leads has been a dilemma a little bit for him.
You know, to your point, Bill, we were talking about it a little bit during the break, how Villanova does have these lapses sometimes when they have large leads. I think this is where they missed Daniel Ochefu. You know,
inside punch.
Yeah.
Well, they created off the dribble. Always got it too.
And he short-armed it. And it's tipped in by Reynolds. Just as I mentioned, the loss of Ochefu, his development in terms of scoring, that's how he gets most of his on the offensive glass.
That drive gets the attention. The defender comes over, bears the glass. So Reynolds with an easy putback.
Jonathan Molmar on the floor now with Derrickson, Govan, Pryor, and L.J. Peak. Shot clock down to 5.
Yeah, they got the switch with Govan under there.
Yeah. Pryor has to hoist one up. And look at that. Look at Govan keeping it alive and drawing the foul.
That's what you have to do. If you don't get it, turn and reverse the checkout so you're the offensive guy. But this is a really solid play. And all of a sudden, right at the basket, you see him drag. And Brunson knew he could get it off. I'm sure he's disappointed he didn't convert that himself. But in dragging the big, the cleanup job.
So a recycle here for Georgetown after the foul committed. And it was on Brunson, his first. Hart, Jenkins, and Brunson all scoreless in this half. And Govan back into
the game.
Look at the
rebound. Look who's there.
Yeah, Josh Hart pulls it down again.
Oh, you see, big when it's an important gather.
Georgetown had cut it to 10. And Villanova has answered again.
I think Brunson would like it back with Govan on him.
Hart,
they break it down. Excuse me, Timmy.
Pulled down by Pryor. That 3-ball falls for Derrickson. They need more of that.
They break that magic number too. You know how people feel when you get under that 10.
And the faithful from the D.C. area that made their way here, hoping for this run to continue, and the doldrums for Josh Hart to continue. He is 0 for 7 now in the second half. Suddenly, the iron's gone downright rude.
And settling a little bit, I think, for deep jacks.
Reminds me of the Marquette game, Bill. Really does.
Yeah.
Second half of that game. Molmar. Good pass again to Pryor.
Ooh, that was big.
He's on the hill. Would have cut it to 6. How about that defensive hustle?
How about that effort?
Out of bounds to Villanova, but great effort by Pryor.
Boy, they are showing a lot of fortitude here, Georgetown.
After what they've gone through on this trip here, incredible. Well, we talk about Hart, but the other guys,
they got some tickers too.
Got some too. Pryor trying harder. Welcome back to Big East College Hoops on FS1, sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. Our score 58-49. The Hoyas on a run, and the Georgetown players believe. If you don't believe me, go inside the huddle and find out now.
I see y'all working now, baby. Do it again. Keep boxing them out. Keep boxing them out. Where the sheriff going? Where the sheriff going, baby? That's why you made it. It's easy. They can't close you out. We're right back in it, fellas. Keep working.
Great to have self-starters, and that's what they're doing. They've been through so much on this trip.
No question. You love that, though. The enthusiasm, the interest, and a guy who really was incredible that first half. Struggled a little bit. Maybe some tougher shots, maybe better defense.
The Hoyas, by the way, playing really like Villanova. 6 assists on 8 field goals in this half, so they've been the efficient team. And Hart is sitting as we come out of the break. Hart, Jenkins, Brunson, 30 points on 11 of 19 shooting in the first half. A collective 0 for 12 in the second.
Playing a little bigger with Pesco and Reynolds on the floor. Of course, Bridges, who can play pretty much wherever he wants, you know. Good handle.
And the three-point shooting story in this half as well. Brunson dominating the rock on this possession. Jenkins in some traffic, loses at baseline.
Yeah, they closed it off beautifully, Georgetown.
This is a big trip.
It sure is.
Govan, who's made a difference since coming into the game, quickly doubled.
Nice job by Brunson to really confuse him. Nice ball rotation.
Pryor counting. And the lead now suddenly down to 7 with just over 6 to play.
The kick from the double set it off. Look at that bench, huh?
They haven't lost here, Villanova, since 2013 to Providence. 47 in a row here. Brunson, it's off the
big rebound.
Reynolds brings it down. And then a reach-in foul.
Mulmore there with the grab. Just had a guard. Nice job by Reynolds doing his job. But the extra pass, this is pretty solid basketball. What a stroke this guy has. Early in the year, out of the gate, everybody was living in fear of him.
3 fouls now on Mulmore. And Reynolds going to the free throw line is Josh Hart. 3 enters the game.
I think they're going to go small with DiVincenzo for Reynolds. That's why he had to go back out. Oops. Got a little break there.
Yes,
what would you call that?
Oh, the iron was kind. Yes, it was. Since you asked for it, I'll give it to you. That ended a 12-2 Georgetown run. Those 2 free throws by Reynolds. And you're right, DiVincenzo comes into the game. Sort of scramble things up a little bit here for Villanova defensively.
And after the score, they can do their 3-quarter. Bridges very dangerous here with the wingspan. Gets his hand. Look how high you have to throw it over him. And Govan may be the guy now in this against the zone. Nice steal by Hart. Great read.
This level of anticipation always there. That's going to be an offensive foul.
Just not good basketball. Underneath the giveaway. Marcus, look at this. Yeah. No question about it. You got to be smart in that Dirksen.
Yeah. It's a good thing. They're fortunate they didn't go and review that. There was a chance that they could have.
Yeah, it's a turnover, though. That's the killer. Like, you're right in the hunt.
Absolutely.
And it's a giveaway without a shot. Nice fake.
Brunson.
Look at him poise and cut.
To DiVincenzo. Oh, beautiful defensive work there with help from Derrickson. Mulmore to LJ Peak. Right to the rack. And counted in a foul.
How about that?
That
speed?
was relentless.
Ooh, what an attack.
Jay Wright talked about that all day today at the shoot-around, how LJ Peak will just take it right to the rack.
He actually lost it there, Timmy. DiVincenzo. This is just terrific opportunity basket. With a kiss and a chance for 3. And they're right back at 6 if they make this.
Now, this could be a 5-point swing. What might have been on this end of the floor versus what happens here.
Villanova very good at using clock, too, as all good ball clubs are. When some time to get something.
Villanova's largest lead was 17. They lead by 7 now, with just over 5 to play.
This is where you got to be conscientious. Don't overhelp.
Well, they took Brunson off there as he was trying to drive.
Nice pump.
Got Derrickson airborne. Can't get it to go, though. And Bridges the last to touch it.
Well, they've had some opportunities, but good challenge. Force him to take a 2 versus a 3.
LJ Peak has 13, and 10 of them have come in this half. And with Govan on the floor, they're a much harder team to defend right now, this Georgetown team.
He can get to the rim. We know that. See if they get the big guy to the box. They got him locked low. There you go.
There's the dump down.
They give
foul right away.
Jenkins with the small change, but Pryor has been tough, Timmy. A step-out shooter, great-looking stroke. Mid-range game, you know he can step out even further. And how about that? That was early in the game. His ability to attack the rim. And solid contributor from deep. All pretty good shots tonight.
He's been outstanding. Senior from Evanston, Illinois. Transfer from Robert Morris. Right to the cup, can't get it to go. Everything but the finish. Derrickson retrieves it, out to Peak.
How about that kick out? Great presence. And down to 4.
With just over 4 minutes left.
And here's the problem right now. You start thinking as an offensive player, you see this thing slipping away.
Hart, Jenkins, and Brunson 0 for 14 in this half.
Not a good
that
look
was a
here.
tough pass. Govan to Momar. Peak wants it. Gives it up to Pryor for the teardrop. And just like that, the Hoyas look mighty again. A 7-0 run to cut it to 2.
Boy, they have been solid, competitive, doing a lot of good things. The kick out, pass off, the rebound, the offensive rebound, the most dangerous time in the game. And this little drive and find a little floater in the lane. And right now, the Hoyas right back in this.
Thank you. Villanova only up by 2 with 3:49 remaining. You look at our game reset. 3 timeouts remaining for the Hoyas, but they have given up 9 fouls. Villanova with 1 timeout left. And only 4 fouls given up as a team by Villanova. That's the circumstances that we face right now, but this is a very cold Villanova offense. Stone cold, in fact, with their 3 big guns scoreless here in the second.
They've done a great job, even on the dribble drive, staying at home for the kick-out guy, and a lot of settling deep by Villanova.
Cats went on a 7-0 run and last led by 17. It's been a 21-6 spurt since for Georgetown.
Peak on Hart. That's the guy, I think, in terms of drive, open shot, and also the rebounding ability.
Hart into traffic, and Peak, I think, will be tagged with the reach.
That was too easy. I mean, he just turned the corner. That was a big defensive stance. You got to turn and make him at least reverse the dribble.
Well, bad news for Georgetown. It was Govan that actually got tagged with that foul rather than Peak. I think he was lobbying for it. He certainly reached in, but Govan now with 4. And he's made a difference, Bill, since coming in for Georgetown. I mean, Govan sat for a long time, and they got much better offensively when
they
he got out
sure did.
there.
He lifted guys, a little baseline, giving opportunities at the rim.
Josh has been sitting on 17 points for a long time. Finally gets that one to roll through.
Got to go through Govan. And also, you got the ability to kick outs. Peak, we mentioned his ability to get to the rim. Momar, his ability.
This Pavilion crowd has been in shock, and they're trying to urge on their Wildcats right now.
And you got to stay at home on Pryor, too. I think that's a tough match for Pascal.
Reynolds trying to front Govan, but to no avail. No double coming.
Nice cut.
Pryor.
Short.
Tipped away, and Reynolds brings it down.
Big rebound by the big guy.
Look at that. 0 for 14 for Hart, Jenkins, and Brunson. Which one will step up?
Little stack look right now. Brunson, one of those guys, turn the corner, they dribble, drive, and replace.
Brunson, little duck under, not there though. Govan, who did a nice job defending with the rebound.
They made him extend fully.
Momar turned down the 3, thought about a quick shot.
Good front inside by Bridges.
He wants it. Govan's got it.
Nice cut.
Great pass to Pryor, and a foul.
How about the dive by Pryor? That's twice he's made great cuts. Once the big guy gets it, heads turn a little bit, you sneak a peek, and the experienced guy gets right in that seam. How about that? Terrific attack at the rim and sensational find by Govan. A little peek and deliver.
Huge miss there for Pryor. The free ones really matter at this stage.
Pretty fluid offensive group now. The center on Villanova right now is Jenkins, so they can really make you step out.
He gets one of the 2. They trail by a deuce with 2:18 to play. Number 2, Villanova. Georgetown outside the bubble looking in. An opportunity presented them right in their face right now. What can they do with it?
He loves that little dribble handoff, fake and go, and the giveaway. Momar, that's number 3, I think.
Yep.
That's one of his favorite plays, going with his dominant hand, Brunson.
Make that 4, actually, on John.
4. Now they go big again on the sub.
Pascal and Reynolds both looking to come in.
Well, this is big, able to shoot 2 coming down the stretch.
Oh, yeah. If you recall, Georgetown got 6 really quick fouls in this half.
Now you got to think now, squeeze if you're Georgetown, don't give them a chance to slap back if it is missed.
From a defensive standpoint, Villanova can take more risks. They've only committed 5 team fouls. No field goals, though, for Villanova. The last 7:03. Their lead is 4.
Govan needs a touch. He's made great decisions.
Remember, Govan playing with 4. Fans wanted a turnover, and they get it. Pete dribbled it off his ankle. Brunson on the other end.
Smart. You didn't really need it. Heading play. This kid is so sharp. A lot of other guys would do the blow-by.
Sometimes you have to win grinders, and this is going to be one of those.
This is a test. No question about it. Just stay solid, Georgetown. Make sure you rebound.
Hart from downtown.
Ooh, onions. He's got the ability to make big plays.
There was no denying that even with a collar so far, when it counts the most, the guy with the guts, the guy named Hart, pumps it in.
How about his understanding to have to take advantage of situations, a little sprint to the top. Nylon Hart.
Georgetown has seen this before. Several close losses, beginning with the Gavitt tip-off, November 15th against Maryland. Then New Year's Eve against Xavier. The iron unkind when it counted most. January 7th against Butler. And then that one in overtime, and then most recently against Seton Hall. A game that really got away from them after going 1 of 17 from beyond the arc.
Well, they've had a lot of heartaches, but boy, they came in here well prepared, checking out the timeouts. First, the foul situation, a major issue as Villanova gets a chance to 2 on the floor foul, non-shooting. But you mentioned Hart. It was just amazing how a guy can put his team on his shoulder and check the foul trouble out and rise to the occasion, elevate his game and his performance, his intensity. And it's all about being here, nurturing the process. This magnificent ticker this kid has.
That was Villanova's first three-pointer this half. 1 of 9 in the second. And the first field goal of any kind for Hart in the second. But again, a winner and a leader does that kind of thing.
Absolutely. They extend the floor a little just to force usage of the clock. Probably settle back in straight man-to-man, I would think. Once again, I think Govan is the guy. He can find people, make decisions. Here he comes. Good job by Hart taking the back cut.
Peak again. Just a strong will to get it to the 10, and he will be fouled. Josh picks up his second, so that's number 2 on Hart, and Okoye Gal will come in. We've got some defensive for offensive substitutions now coming from JT3, who is really laboring over there because of an accident that occurred yesterday. By the way, this is a game that is normally played at Wells Fargo. This is only the second time in 11 years that Georgetown has played inside the pavilion. And you could tell that the kids, they're amped up and they know the history, even if not recent history between these two programs.
Great tradition of these programs. Of course, 85 was the championship for Villanova. Big John had won it the year before. There you go.
Yeah, that was
81% free throw shooter. Yeah. That kid is big.
2-possession game now with 1:04 remaining.
They want to be solid, extend, don't gamble. Look at this chance here, 3-on-1.
Yep. DiVincenzo.
How about that hang?
What a double hang.
How about that?
A little hitch in the giddy up, Bill.
Absolutely. And Brunson with a great catchable decision.
68-60 Peak. What a jump stop. Rejected by Bridges.
You don't need this.
Hard.
Wow. How to close the game out.
Wow. 8 unanswered.
They can be explosive.
Peak trying for the putback and a foul underneath. John Thompson wanted a timeout there, but his guys didn't see him.
This is just solid basketball. Now look at this adjustment at the rim to finish. And down on this end, stepping up big time. Look at this, Bridges. Who is he talented? No question about it. Here using the rim too as they close big time.
Well, they answered, didn't they?
They sure did.
A 10-2 run after the Hoyas had cut it to 2. Again, these are very important because you can still make it interesting down the stretch, but you got to make the free throws and hope for some
turnover. Here we get a little turnover here. Get your defense set. Well, you mentioned those close losses for this Georgetown team. You know, disheartening that they come back. I mean, that's what you admire the most.
Length of the floor for Hart. He corralled it, and then was quickly fouled by Peak.
They work on that all the time. There's Jenkins' his ability to throw that baseball pass. That one had a little screwball in it, though. A little left to right.
Well, you might recall something pretty special happened at the Final Four when Jenkins threw an inbounds pass.
It was a little short of that. And then the arch with the bounce. And the arch, the biggest thing about it is his attention. The ears on Arch to hear, Arch, Arch.
For Georgetown, even though this might fall into the category, we've seen this story play out many times before, another opportunity for them this weekend against Marquette. First of 2 games that you'll see on Fox.
These kids are tough, though. They come in here ready. The last couple of weeks, it's been a rejuvenation, I think. You know how tough it is to beat Villanova any place, much less here.
Absolutely. That's some doubleheader, by the way, with Xavier and Villanova to follow on Fox. And Jay will be going after number 500, presumably. Peak gets that one to go. And quick timeout taken by JT3. 29.7 left and an 8-point cushion for Villanova. We touched on that next one with Marquette. And we know that the Golden Eagles, Steve Wojciechowski, are playing at a high level. Creighton to follow. Look, those are all opportunities. 3 of those 5 games that they have in front of them are teams that are likely to be in the NCAA tournament.
Don't look ahead.
Yeah.
It's a story of being in television. Don't look ahead. They're gaining on you. Well, just keep playing as you check out the Cats down the stretch here. That's a great one with Xavier coming up. That'll be a classic, I think.
One thing about it, regardless of the record at the end, no matter how gaudy it may be for Villanova, they are tested game in and game out in this conference.
They're not able to run away.
No.
And that's what concerns Jay. Just tease a little bit, play real solid, and then give it back a little. But again, I think it's a tribute to the opponents as well.
Quick foul given up by Pryor against Chris Jenkins. Really all you can do is hope to extend the game and get a little bit of help. What a valiant second half for LJ Peak. 18 of his 21 in this half, Bill. And right on the scouting report, too. This is a guy that he may be quiet for 30 minutes, but then at the end, he plays at another level. It's got another gear.
Like his name, he raises the level.
Yes, he does.
He arrives at a peak performance.
Need to get that motor running a little bit sooner this weekend when they play Marquette at home. Pascal checks in for Jenkins. Defense for offense here.
7 guys. I'm looking over at the bench. It's interesting how he's been able to do it all year long.
Unreal. Govan from downtown. Off the heel. Up, should put it away. Hart to Bridges.
Punctuation.
And you look up tomorrow, you see the final score, you'll maybe not understand how challenged Villanova was and how cold a spell they went through, but the defending champs are just that, the defending champs.
They really took it on the chin here a little bit. Georgetown gave him a heck of a shot. Just been a tough trip for JT3.
Valiant effort and defeat. Hart winds up with 25 and 7 rebounds, 4 of 9 from downtown to lead the way. Villanova gets the W, moves to 23-2, 10-2 in the Big East, remain undefeated at home. Now let's get to Kevin Burkhardt in Los Angeles.